Today I'm going to show you guys how I package sealed Pokemon card products in my 7-figure Pokemon card business in my basement. We've got all sorts of different boxes here. We got bubble wrap, we got little air bubbles, we got tape, we got all the things we need. And most importantly, we have an ass load of orders. So let's just go over them. So we'll start super simple. 2 Japanese booster boxes. There is a perfect box size for these. This sucker right here. This is 6 by 6 by 4. Pretty close to perfect size. Take 1 square foot of bubble wrap, fold that into 4s, put it on top. That's literally all I do. I ship out $12,000 of this stuff per day, and I've never had a problem. Tape across the top. Tape across the middle. It's not pretty, but nobody cares. And then we have a sticky note system. I slap that sucker on there, put it in the pile. Let's do another easy one. Box of Shiny Treasures EX. This is a high class box, so it's a little skinnier. I'm gonna take this box here, fold that up. So this is a 6 by 4 by 2. It's 2 inches tall. Perfect freaking size. Tape across. Tape down. Good for Shiny Star V, V-Star Universe, Shiny Treasures EX, all of them. One more easy one. Standard single boxed of Japanese. I call these pizza boxes. So this is basically just half of that one we did earlier. 6 by 6 by 2. Now for these expensive boxes, I have these cool plastic little cases. You can type in like plastic protective case for Japanese booster box on Google. If you don't have a fancy plastic case, I just put the box in there, put a square of bubble wrap on top, call it a day. Easy. English standard booster box. We're going to use the same size box we used for the 2 Japanese boxes, and that's the 6 by 6 by 4. This guy. Booster box, in the box, square foot of bubble wrap, boom, seal it up, easy. Here we got a booster pack order. Now depending on the size of the booster pack order, we do different things. This is only 2. Anything between like 2 and 8 booster packs, we're going to use this method. Take a poly bag. I've got affiliate links for these in Amazon. I get a fat 3% commission if you use that affiliate link, so, you know, make me rich. A little square from Hobby Armor. I might have an affiliate link in the description. Either way, Hobby Armor, they kick ass. Highly suggest. So what we do is we put the Hobby Armor square in the poly mail. We put the booster packs on top of that. You want to kind of center them a little bit. Gonna take the little sticky guy off and seal him nice and tight. So it'll look like that. And what you're gonna do is take a bubble mailer, 7 by 7 by 8 in dimensions. These are inches. Slide him in there, boom. And you wanna seal it not super tight, but you know, just enough to where they can easily pry it open. And again, that method's going to be good for 1 to 8 booster packs depending on the language, because Japanese packs are super skinny, English packs are a little thicker. Now if I have an order with more than that in booster packs, I just use that thin pizza box I showed you guys earlier for the high class sets. Just wrap the little pile in bubble wrap. Now this is what I consider an annoyingly sized order. We got a Japanese booster box and an English booster box, which is basically the equivalent of 3 Japanese booster boxes if you do Japanese stuff. So it's just too big for these guys, the English booster boxes, but it's too small for what we do, and it's kind of a waste, but I'm going to show you anyway. This here is a 7 by 7 by 6 square box. There's probably a more efficient way to do it, but I love these boxes, and I don't care. So what I do is I take my bubble wrap roll. All this stuff is from Uline, by the way. The mailers are from eBay. The cardboard squares are from Hobby Armor, and then the boxes are all from Uline. So I take my stack here, I put it dead center on 2 square feet of bubble wrap, fold it up like so, stick it in the box. Take the brown craft paper, also from Uline. They sell it in these fat rolls. Maybe start with like this much. If it's not enough, peel off a little bit more. Your goal here is to put enough craft paper in there to where you don't hear any shakes. Because even though shaking probably isn't going to damage the product, it'll freak your customers out if they hear it shaking. Crisscross tape on top. Test for shake. We're good. Now this here is what I'd call a perfectly efficient order. 4 Japanese booster boxes. We're going to use that same 7x7x6 box I showed you guys a second ago. This video is great. I'm working while I'm making a video. I'm working while I'm working. They say that multitasking is impossible for the human brain, but they don't know the power of PokeAny.com. 2 square feet of bubble wrap. Take your pile of 4 Japanese booster boxes, stick it in the middle. Just like last time, we're going to wrap it up like that. Put it in the box. When you close the flaps, make sure that it's going to be impossible for the customer to slice the packaging of the booster box itself. So they're not going to get through that when they cut through that. Now, believe it or not, this is also an efficient order. We got an English booster box and 3 Japanese booster boxes. We're going to use that same 776. Are you seeing a pattern on why I like these? They're wonderful. Now, this is a slightly different technique. We're going to take our 2 square feet of bubble wrap. We're going to make a little pile and put it on top. Not quite in the middle, though. A little bit off kilter. We're going to take our 3rd Japanese booster box and kind of put it on the side like that. Wrap that sucker up. Drop it in the box. It's a perfect tight fit. Now there is the space here. What I do with that, either fill it with a little square of bubble wrap wrapped up. I have these fancy bigger bubbles, and honestly, I don't know where you buy these. It's from Nexus Air, Nexus. I get all these for free from my Japanese suppliers. Basically, they ship so much stuff to me that I just always have them on hand. Anyway, it fits in that space perfectly, and it also covers the top of the English booster box. Not bad. On some of these heavier orders, I put a piece of tape on the 2 edges on top too. Just because there's a slight bulge, but you don't need to be intimidated by a slight bulge. Here's kind of a unique one. We got a Japanese booster box and a handful of booster packs. What I do for these is I kind of just put the booster packs on top of the box like so. I take another poly bag. This is like the medium sized poly bag. If you follow the affiliate link in the description, you'll see that the poly bags come in packs of 4. There's like a small, medium, large, and extra large. So this is the medium. Stick it in there. And then you got a nice little, they're not going anywhere. Now this is just small enough to fit in that 6x6x2 pizza box I showed you guys earlier. The single Japanese box. And it'll be the perfect size, I guarantee it. Yes, look how satisfying. We're going to shut that sucker up. Now what's good about these pizza boxes is you don't need to protect the items inside from being like sliced when the customer opens the box, because they're going to slice it here, here, and here. There's nothing on top. Pizza boxes for the win. Now we got a bigger stack of stuff. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Japanese boxes, which I think is the equivalent of about 2 English boxes with a Japanese box on top, something like that. So this is all off the cuff. I'm not, I didn't rehearse any of this, but you kind of get to know what box to use. So for a stack this big, 8x8x8, it's the same style as the 7x7x6, just a teeny bit bigger. Now with orders like this, there are obviously a plethora of ways to pack them. Sometimes I use like flat or horizontal boxes. Sometimes I use the 8x8x8s. You have a lot of options. The reason I'm using 8x8 right now, 8x8x8 right now, is because, quite frankly, I have too many of them, and also we'll use a long rectangular box for the next order, which is behind me. So for this, you can stack them, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high. 5 high. Take your other one, put it right next to the stack. Take your other one, put it right next to the stack in the back that time. Center it on, what, 3 square feet of bubble wrap. Drop it in. It's going to be nice and tight there. Again, there is like an inch space here, so we're going to take that big, thick bubble wrap again. Just one chunk of it. And put that on top. And then there's a little bit of wiggle room, so we'll take just a smidgen of craft paper, stick it on top, fold down the flaps. Shake test is good. And again, on any box bigger than 7 by 7 by 6, I do always do cross tape there. Probably unnecessary, probably a waste of tape, but it makes the customer feel like you did that much better of a job when they get it. And we're all about good vibes. So this order is 8 Japanese booster boxes, which is about this tall compared to my big ass head. And for 8, we could squeeze them into that 8 by 8 by 8, or we're gonna use a horizontal flat box for this one. Pretty sure the 15 by 11 by 5 is the box that we want, so we're gonna unfurl this. Again, all of these are available on Uline. I think for the most part, if you buy them in bulk, at most you're gonna spend about $1 per box. I'd have to look, but $1 per box at the most. These tape guns kick ass. They were, I think, $10 a piece from Amazon. If you just type in tape gun, I don't even think it's branded. Tape gun Amazon, I think it's like Amazon's Choice or whatever. If it's more than $10, you got the wrong thing. Crisscross tape on the bottom. We're gonna do our side fellas too. What I do for these is I take, 3 square feet of bubble wrap. I just line the bottom of the box. Take my booster boxes. And what I love about the 15 by 11 by 5 box is it is perfectly wide enough to fit 2 booster boxes too high. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. What I do then is I take our little extra bubble wrap from that 3 square feet and I fold it over. Now we're gonna get these gaps here, so you can either fill these gaps with craft paper, or if the boxes are super expensive, you can use that thick bubble wrap thing I showed you guys earlier. These are Lost Origin boxes, or Lost Abyss boxes, so we'll use the fancy bubble wrap. Put that on either side. Put another 2 of them on top. Boom. And by the way, Uline does sell rolls of thicker stuff. I kind of forgot to mention that. I think these are 3/4 inch thick bubbles. They have a really good pop to them. Just look at Uline, put in bubble rolls, you'll see them, I promise. We're gonna fill the remaining of the box just with the craft paper again. And the trick with craft paper is you don't want to like fold it down. The whole point of this is it's not the paper that protects anything, because like how would that protect anything? It's not the paper, it's the air. So you want to fold it kind of rough, and then you got all this air in here. A lot of newbies, they'll like fold it and crease it, and then they're like, oh, I need a whole lot of it. You don't need it very much. So that's all I got in my bin cart. So I'm gonna tell you guys verbally a couple other things that we usually come across. For a Japanese booster box case, that's 12 Japanese boxes in each case, we use a 13 by 13 by 8. This is also great for Japanese one-piece cases, and maybe English one-piece cases. I don't sell that, so I don't know. There's high-class cases too. This would be V-Star Universe, Shiny Treasure, Shiny Star V, etc. They have 20 booster boxes, and they're those like skinnier ones. These. A 17 by 11 by 6 box is going to be perfect for them. You'll have a little bit of space to add some bubbles and whatnot, but ultimately it's a good size. And they're pretty cheap to ship, honestly. For English booster box cases, the long ones, we use 20 by 6 by 6. Just put 2 thick bubbles on top, or fill the remaining couple centimeters with craft packing paper and you're set. This 8 by 8 by 4 perfectly caresses a single ETB. Wrap it up in 3 square feet of bubble wrap and you've got a great size. If you have 2 ETBs, the 8 by 8 by 8 box is absolutely perfect. All you're gonna do for that is take 3 square feet of bubble wrap, put the ETBs in the center, fold it over so the whole thing's covered, drop it in the 8 by 8 by 8, add craft paper as necessary. Now if you have 4 ETBs, which for some reason happens a lot, mostly because ETBs usually come in pairs and some people buy 2 pairs, 15 by 10 by 8 is perfect. Just stack them 4 in a row, put bubble wrap around it just like I did with these, add craft paper to fill. Now if you have a Japanese one-piece box, these kind of skinny guys, also Japanese Dragon Ball Fusion boxes are like this, or a Korean Pokemon box, you got 6 by 4 by 4. These are a little bit skinnier. They fit in pretty well. It could be better, but just fill the gaps with bubble wrap and packing paper as necessary. Perfect size, super cheap to ship too. For EX boxes like Cyclizar, Mimikyu, the Charizard, etc., you're going to use a 15 by 11 by 5. It's a little bit extreme, but it's the best thing Uline's got. You can also use the flat priority mailer from USPS. If you go to USPS free shipping supplies, just type that into Google, you'll see it. It's like a thin box with a little clap on top. Now, those are great because they're free, but you're required to use priority shipping with them. So depending on the situation, your costs might actually be better to purchase a box from Uline and ship it ground, but your choice. So that's a standard EX box. There are premium EX boxes that are quite a bit longer. You're gonna need a 17 by 11 by 6 box for these, at least on Uline. That's the only size I found that fits. The 6 is super tall and you're gonna need a lot of fill for that, which sucks. But most of the time, my customers buy at least 2 to 3 of these at a time, so it's a perfect fit. Make sure when you're packing EX boxes, if you have more than one, you wanna keep them like that, where the windows are facing each other. It just helps protect the nonsense inside compared to shipping them like that. You're going to be fine either way, but it's just good practice. Obviously, you're going to get some combinations of orders too. A lot of folks, if you have a sealed store, you'll know they buy one ETB and one booster box of each set. They might throw in a booster bundle or some sleeved booster packs as well. For this combination, a 14 by 8 by 4 box is the one for you. Line them up like that. Wrap them up in 3 square feet of bubble wrap, put them in, fill as needed, 14 by 8 by 4. That is a perfect size for a lot of applications. I highly recommend you buy an assload of them. Now, I'm out of stock of these, but the 151 UPC, the kind of bigger one, 15 by 11 by 5, trust me, it is perfection. Other than that, you're going to find different combinations in a million different ways between English, Japanese, Korean, ETBs, booster bundles, sleeves, booster packs, blah, 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 blah. There's infinite combinations of stuff you're going to come across if you own a sealed Pokemon card business. So some go-to larger boxes I love, 15 by 11 by 5, you will use the hell out of those. 15 by 11 by 6, that extra inch of height can make a huge difference. 17, 14, 5 for a little bit of width, but long enough to hold premium EX boxes, which come across quite often. Another one of my go-to favorites is the 14 by 10 by 5. It's just got a lot of application. It's the perfect size for most combinations of things that are relatively medium sized without being wasteful as far as space goes. If you guys are shipping those big English classic boxes, you're gonna need a 30-inch box, and Uline only has 30 by 20 by 6, so there's a lot of wiggle room on either side, but you should fill that with packaging anyway because they're super expensive. Strangely enough, the Japanese classic box is an inch shorter, so that's great because then you can get a 29-inch by 17 by 5, which is a much tighter fit with just enough room to squeeze in a few booster packs or Japanese booster boxes if your customer orders some extra stuff. Another occasional one is the 10 by 10 by 4, which is just bigger than that single ETB box I showed you guys. And that's got a couple niche applications. It works well for English booster bundles. It also works well if you're selling one ETB and then they also pick up some sleeved blister packs or something. You can squeeze just a little bit more in there. Now, as far as what platform we use for shipping, I've tried Pirate Ship. I tried some Pitney Bowes thing, but Shippo has been the best for us. Shippo interacts directly with Wix for sure, and I believe Shopify as well. It is the easiest platform to use. The prices are phenomenal. Anyway, that's about it. This video was sponsored, as always, by PokeAny.com. That's me. If you want Thai, Indonesian, Korean, Japanese, or English Pokemon cards, we also got some White Shorts and One Piece and Dragon Ball in there. Go to PokeAny.com. Our prices aren't always the best, but we are. So go there, do some shopping, and if you want to learn how to start your own Pokemon card business, subscribe to the YouTube channel PokeAny_Pokemon. We don't sell you anything, it's pure knowledge. Thanks guys, have a wonderful day.